It is Sunday, it's late, I'm getting a really late start to today, and I'm freezing. It is 66 degrees in my house, and that is not meant for somebody like me. I normally have it at like 76 or 80. I don't use my AC in the summer, and it does get pretty hot down here, but I like it hot. So I am positively frozen, but I am trying to keep it less dry because apparently when I went to the doctor a few weeks ago, they said that that could contribute to why I'm always feeling horrible. So we're gonna try it. I'm gonna let you know I'm frozen, so I'm pretty unhappy right now. But I have my heated blanket and a super warm fuzzy sweatshirt on and new thick socks. So we're gonna run with it. Virginia, get your life together. I moved down to get away from the cold. Anyway, like I said, it is late today. I've kind of been having, I don't even know. I wanted to say like a late day, but I was up early and I started working on the spare room again. Took a break because there's only so much that you can do without wasting the entire day. And then I need to edit my vlog from this past week that I just finished yesterday, but my card reader doesn't work on my new laptop, so I had to import it into my old laptop, which is way too slow to actually edit videos. So I'm in the process of uploading it, all of the clips to Google Drive, so then I can access it from my new laptop and download all of those clips. It seems like a process, but I didn't get a vlog up last week just because of the holiday and me being so sick and not able to talk. So I really, really want to get this one up, and I am dedicated to it. It still says it has an hour and a half left to upload the rest of the clips. I started it a few hours ago, actually. But we will see. So hopefully I can edit that once they are all uploaded. I have some laundry going. I have the dishwasher going. It's already a little bit after 10. My hair is crazy. I need to fix it. I am going to be working today on a bunch of gingerbread activities. I didn't finish them last night. I'm honestly not 100% sure right at this moment in time what all gingerbread activities I want to do. I wanted to make gingerbread men with construction paper, but I don't have any at all, either at school or at home. And I was just gonna photocopy the templates, but I don't know that we've got enough at work anyway. So, and being that it's not mine, I hate borrowing so much of it. And since I'm not sure, I don't want to rely on that. So I'm trying to think of other things that we can do. And this way I can just kind of print it and laminate it and cut it out. I do have to reprint the activities that I tried to print on Friday at work that turned out miserably. But being that I don't have a ton of color ink, it says, even though I just bought it, I want to print out what I'm doing this week, so at least I have it, and then I can try to print out the stuff for later on. But that is my plan so far for today. It is 100% a potato-y day, and I'm just going to be hanging out on the couch, having some Law and Order in the background, because that's how I spend my Sundays, and cranking out some work. So I will check in with you guys once I have something of note to show you, and I'm not just hanging out in my kitchen. I am starving though. I do need to go eat breakfast. So I will check in with you guys a little bit later, and hopefully I've made some progress somewhere in my life. Okay, so change of plans. Apparently, as you can see, Law & Order is not on. It is Christmas movies, which, well, I want to try to get into. I am just like not in the mood for, so I'm going to Netflix it instead. I had started the series Mindhunter and I was in love with it, so I'm hoping to rewatch it and actually like pay attention more so than I was the first time around, because I didn't do such a good time listening the first time. And I definitely fell asleep through like 4 or 5 of the episodes and have no idea what's happening. So that's my new updated plan. Hopefully this will upload soon and we can just go from there, and I'll get my vlog done and all my stuff edited. Yay! Bye! Hey guys, I am just checking in. It is about 11:45 right now, so I'm going to make myself some lunch because I'm starving. and I am trucking along on some gingerbread activities, which has kind of morphed into a cookie activity. I am making some gingerbread man cookies, but also just some regular sugar cookie templates of just like round cookies, star-shaped cookies, Christmas tree cookies, a snowman cookie. And I'm gonna have like icing that you can put on top of it. And we are gonna make a game out of that. And I'm also going to have it where you can feed the cookies and like bake the cookies. So I'm gonna see if I can put that all together. It kind of goes with the gingerbread man theme. We might make a gingerbread man with one of my groups, just the lower kids at the other preschool, because I just think that'll be a lot of fun for them, and I think they'd really enjoy that. But it's kind of morphing into a completely different project, but I'm okay with it because I really think it'll be fun to do like a sugar cookie activity. And we can just do different things with like rolling the dice and getting different colors and different flavors or whatnot. I'm still not 100% sure how I'm going to do it, but it kind of ends up seeming like an entirely different activity that'll have a lot of different components. So baking the cookies can be one activity. Matching up the toppings and making your own cookies could be another activity. And then I have my elf, or I think I just have the elf for now, or I have Rudolph, but I guess Rudolph wouldn't eat cookies. So the elf, where you could feed the cookies to the elf, that could be like another reinforcement activity. So it's kind of going to be like a whole big unit. And I'm hoping to finish that up today, like I said, because I'm going to do it this week and definitely make sure I know what I'm doing with who, so it all kind of just matches up and meshes, and I feel so much better when I know what's planned and like what I'm supposed to be doing. Last week it kind of got thrown together last minute, so I didn't feel as great about it, so I'm really hoping to like get on top of it this week and pull it together for Christmas. I looked back last year to see what I had done, and I had some really cute ideas and some things, but a lot of it was on the construction paper. So I think I might also look tomorrow morning and see if there is any construction paper. I think I have some saved from last year. I know I did a giant Christmas tree that the kids got to decorate, and then a giant gingerbread man. We did like a listening activity where it was like a glyph, where it was like, if you're a boy, or if you like this, or do this and this, and you know, draw whatever onto the gingerbread man. And I think that'll still be a lot of fun, but I'm hoping to have this done as well, and it'll also be listed in my TPT shop. Currently now I have both Christmas clues and naughty or nice, the social pragmatic activity. Those are both listed right now, and then I'm hoping to get this one up as well, and this way I can just kind of have a variety of things for people to do, because you never know. I really do like the reinforcement activities just because I feel like you can buy them and you can use them for whatever. I mean, you could do articulation, you could do language, you could do following directions, WH questions, like whatever you need to do. You could do mixed groups with them. So I just feel like it gives you a whole lot more, but I know it's so much nicer when you get an entire activity. Like, I really like it when I can purchase an activity and it gives me question cards, so that this way I know and I just have it, and I don't have to come up with my own or pull question cards. I'm not sure if everybody else is like that. At this point, it doesn't really make too much of a difference because I have so many sets of question cards that I've made myself and I've just collected over the years that it's not a huge deal. I have them laying around that I could just pull and use. But I definitely know when I was starting out and I was a little more unsure of like what qualified, that it helped a lot when I was purchasing activities that came with like WH questions to ask or scenarios to give, and I didn't have to like sit and come up with them on my own. But we will see. I'm gonna see how much like we'll go into this, how much I think is realistically needed, like if people would be interested in it. I'm not 100% sure. Let me know what you think, or what kind of activities that you guys like to see. Do you like a whole encompassed activity, or do you kind of like to pick and choose whatever questions you want to do because you know your kids the best? But I'm gonna make myself some lunch and get back to work because I don't want to be doing this at the 11th hour and feeling like I'm like super rushing. So that is that. Hey guys, I just wanted to check in. I finally got all of my vlog footage onto my new computer, which means I have started editing last week's vlog, which is hallelujah. It said the first clips were uploaded at like 8 o'clock this morning, and it's already almost 2, maybe a little bit after 2. I don't really know, but we're gonna get it done no matter what. I'm trucking through. Also, I've been working on the Christmas cookies. I haven't done a whole lot of that because I want to get this vlog up, but I do have to obviously finish it for tomorrow and the rest of this week. Also, I don't know if you can see behind me, I'm watching Dark, a Netflix original series. It's German, I believe. At least that's what it sounds like, I think. Well, I guess it doesn't sound like it. It's dubbed in English, but you can tell that the audio doesn't sync up with the picture. And every time that there's like text, it is in German. So I have not heard of this ever, and I'm probably halfway through or 3/4 of the way through the first episode. I think it's got like 10 episodes. I actually Googled it like as I was watching it because I don't know what's happening. And I'm already lost. I'm probably gonna have to rewatch it. It definitely seems like something I'm gonna have to pay attention to. But it looks really good, and it's getting like really great reviews. Although I guess as great as you can be for something that's dark and twisty. But I'm really into those sorts of things, so I'm hoping that I like it. But there was just one like 5-second scene of a really older child, a really old guy, I don't know, he's probably like in high school, and he's sleeping in this bedroom that's got like baby fox wallpaper and superhero sheets or some type of like character on the bed sheets, and he turns over and he's watching this really old television with, I don't even know, it's like some song from the 80s, and it's like a big hair metal, and they've got like crazy eyeshadow all over their face, and it's just like a really strange scene. And then it pans out, and like in between the TV and the little bunk bed that he's sleeping in, which he's clearly too big for, is like an electric chair. So I have no idea what's happening in this movie or the series, so I can't quite comment on it yet, although it seems like it's something that I'd like. It also seems like something that I probably really have to pay attention to, so I'm probably not the best to watch it now. I'm going to keep working. I'm going to try to get this vlog done relatively quickly because I really do want to get back to my lesson plans for tomorrow, but I also want to stay true to my upload schedule, I guess, now that I'm filming on the weekends as well. It's tough because I film from Sunday to Saturday and then hopefully put up the new vlog on a Sunday. But my goal would be to do it like Saturday night and get it up Sunday morning. But with last night's mishap of the card reader not working, that did not happen. So Sunday afternoon we'll have to do. I'm going to try to get better at it though. I'm sorry. We'll try. So this is me attempting to cook. Honestly, I have no idea what I'm doing or if I'm doing it right. It seems to be going okay. Granted, it's potatoes and string beans, so you really shouldn't be able to mess it up, but like I didn't know how to cut the onions or the garlic, really. It said sliced into thin slices, and it looks giant and long and gross, and I chopped most of it once I realized that it was way too large for my liking. So we will see. It says I have to let this simmer for about 10 minutes, and I'm going to give it another minute, and then I'm going to put my string beans in, and then it says cover and let simmer for 6 minutes. And I don't even know if this is simmering. This could totally just be boiling. Not 100% sure. Here is what we've got so far. I am currently boiling down the liquid. It says to 1 cup, so it says to boil it for 6 minutes. And then I've got 2 extra servings, and then tonight's, and I'm just waiting to pour some of the liquid over it. The potatoes are really soft, so I'm surprised that happened. I don't know why I'm surprised, because that's what happens when you boil potatoes, but for whatever reason, I didn't think I'd be successful in this. And it tastes pretty good. I'm thinking that this is well, I knew from the get-go that it was supposed to be a side dish, so I think normally I would probably make this with rice, or, I don't know, I'll probably make some chicken with it, the already pre-cooked chicken, because I can't cook chicken. So, I think it'll end up being really good. Hopefully it freezes well and refrigerates well. I don't see why not, since it's just string beans and potatoes. It shouldn't be too big of an issue. Good morning, guys. Happy Monday. I hope everybody had a really awesome weekend and they are all recharged and ready to get back into the week. I am wishing that because that's not me today. But I'm going to show you guys what I ended up having planned for today because the weekend took kind of a crazy turn. It wasn't really crazy. It's nothing major. But anyway, as you know from my last vlog, Friday I went to print out all of my materials to do for this week for my lessons, and the color printer at school did not work. And it's the good one, but it didn't work. So I had it all to take home, print out, and put together, and then lo and behold, well, I went to print it out, my color printer ran out of ink. And I just bought that ink cartridge, and I literally used it to print one thing. I'm pretty sure I used it to print plated, and that was it. And it printed not even like 4 out of the pages that I needed. So, lesson learned on buying off-brand color ink cartridges. They do not give you very much ink at all. So, that was a super bummer. Also, I was left with no lesson plans for this week because there was nothing that I had that wasn't color, and I had to find stuff that was black and white to print. So it is kind of a mashup again this week, not intentionally. I think we'll be okay, but we're gonna see. I ended up not doing the gingerbread men activity this week. I'm gonna push that back to next week, although I did find construction paper for it, so I'm gonna make it probably today or tomorrow, and this way we're already set for next week. But today's activities are not what I initially had planned, but I'm still kind of excited about doing them. I'm just not sure how it's going to go for this week or how we're going to make it all flow together, but I'm going to show you what I've got so far, and we can go from there. For my older kids, I have this. This is mine. This was part of the Christmas clues. This was the bingo boards. Because I couldn't print out each of the individual bags, this one came out normal, and then as you can see, these were less so. So, I didn't laminate them, I just put them in page protectors because I wasn't going to waste a laminating sheet on these. But I've got these for my older kids. I didn't bother laminating these. I'm just going to read them off. It'll be fine. But here are the clues. So we are going to do this for my higher level language groups, and then my articulation groups, because they are my older kids today. So we'll do some words and some sentences, and then I'll give them the clues. And then for my younger friends, we are going to make Santas. And I cannot for the life of me remember where this is from. I do not know. I will link it down below though. I used it last year. I think I actually made a Play-Doh board out of it. I colored it in really nice, but for my friends today, we are going to color in the Santa, and then I have some cotton balls for the beard, and we can glue them on the different circles for the beard, and also maybe on the pom-pom on his hat. Working on requesting, asking for more, prepositional phrases such as next to, on top of, vocab, Santa, hat, beard, things like that. The only thing is I'm not sure what book I'm going to read with them, because out of my selection I want to keep the 2 Gingerbread Man books obviously for next week. The Mitten is its own thing, and then the only one that I have left is How to Catch Santa, and it would go with this, but it's a little bit higher reading level than what I would do with preschoolers, especially this group. Since I started reading it last week, it was a little bit tough for even some of my lower first graders to understand and kind of follow along with. So we will see. I also have this book, which I will leave the links for all of these. stores or products down below because I don't remember where I got this from. I want to say this is from kindergarten, but I had another one that I think was from a kindergarten website. But I will, like I said, link these down below. But this is Santa Santa, What Do You See? And it's just really cute, easy read. So I'm thinking about maybe doing this with my other groups this week on Wednesday and Thursday, but I may have to use this if I cannot find a storybook to read. So that's kind of my predicament this morning. And then here's my construction paper for my gingerbread men, and also like the little icing pieces that I'm gonna make. And then I found these, which I thought would go really well with the cookie activity that was supposed to be this week that I couldn't print out. But they are just from the dollar bin at Target, and they're these really adorable Christmas cookies that are felt. So I'm super excited to use these, but like I said, I'm going to save these for my cookie activity, which will hopefully be used next week. But this is it so far, and I will let you guys know how today's mashup goes. Crisis avoided. I ran down to the library at school and picked out some books. This one is adorable. Let's face it, I just got it because there's cats, and Santa Cat is probably my favorite. And look how grumpy he looks. It's really cute. I'm really excited to read this one. This one I think I'm going to read today to go with my Santa if I don't end up reading Santa Cat with the kids. This is just how Santa got his job and all of the different jobs that he tried before he became Santa Claus. And then there is Little Santa, which this is a book for preschoolers, I think, and that's why I grabbed it, but I think how Santa got his job would be a little bit better for what I'm doing today. But these three books are super adorable. I'm really excited to read them, kind of getting me into the festive Christmas spirit, and I just think this is hilariously cute. So I will let you know how today goes, and I'll check back in with you guys once I get to lunch or something like that. Hey guys, I'm just checking in right before I have to head out to an eligibility meeting for a preschooler, but today's been surprisingly going very well so far. We have been working on our Santa beards with the little guys, and that's going over really great. They love putting like the different cotton balls on. It actually took way longer than I thought, so we are going to have to finish it tomorrow because I do want them to be able to color in the Santa Claus. But I think that they're doing a really cute job, and maybe I'm going to hang them up unless they want to take them home, in which case they can just bring them home to put on their refrigerator. Also, the Christmas Clues game is going really well. It's stumping some of my friends, so it's a challenge at the same time that it's also bordering on too difficult, so I do have to sometimes throw out some additional clues. But a few of my friends are getting it with one or two, and then other friends aren't getting it with all four, so I'm kind of having to adapt it a little bit more. I really wish that we could have done the naughty or nice activity today, but alas, I just don't have the pieces because they didn't print out. They printed out blank, which stinks. So, what are you going to do? Hopefully next week the printer will be up and running and I can print them here. Also, I've got the gingerbread stuff that I can work on for next week that I'll probably start making once I get back from the meeting. But today's been overall a really good day, so I'm excited about that. I'm happy about that. I always really appreciate when Mondays go smoothly and it's not too crazy. I am missing my afternoon groups just because I do have this meeting, so it makes it a little bit easier. But that's all there is so far, but I'll check in with you guys at the end of today. Also, I totally wanted to touch on this book. This is the cutest book ever, probably, and I may be biased just because I love cats, but this is such an adorable story, and I've read it with a bunch of my groups today. I gave them the choice of this story or Little Santa, and everybody picked this one. But it is just the story about Cat, who dresses up like Santa because he wants to give himself presents because he's been really naughty this year. And it's super adorable. And I really like how Cat holds up like the different signs to communicate, and then it, you know, it kind of reiterates that. And the kids can definitely tell from the pictures what's going on, and there's not a whole lot of words per page, and some of them have no words, so it's perfect for, you know, asking like, what's going on? I wonder what's happening. What do you think is going to happen next? And it's all about pretty much how Cat tries to be nice so that he can get a present from Santa Claus. So it's just a bunch of different ways asking, you know, what can Cat do to be a nice person? And in the end, he does get to meet Santa. Spoiler alert. But this is an adorable book. I'm pretty much in love with it. I kind of wish I had known about it earlier so I could have just read it to everybody, even though realistically it's not slated for everyone, but it's still really cute for all of my younger groups. And then I also got Little Santa, which is what I read with my other preschool at the other school today. And this one's really cute too. It's about basically Santa as a little boy growing up, so it kind of just gives him the background knowledge of. This story is also really cute too. I know I showed this morning, but I didn't get to read it at that point. It's really adorable. It's all about Santa as a little boy and how he helped his family, and it's just kind of like the background story to Santa Claus. And then going forward, it's like, and now you know the rest of the story. So this is really adorable as well, and this goes perfect with my Santa beards, which I do have one of my friends who's going to finish it. We have to finish gluing on his beard, and then we're just going to color in his hat and maybe his face. But this is a super cute activity. I'm thinking of finding maybe some red construction paper, or probably I guess green because his hat will be red, and mounting it on that, and this way they can take it home, or I could hang it up, because these are really adorable. I'm happy how these are turning out, and all of the kids seem to really enjoy it. Plus it's really good for tactile and sensory needs, especially pulling apart the cotton and, you know, gluing it on. So really excited, especially since this was kind of a mishmash of activities, since my original activity did not work out, but sometimes you just have to roll with it and things will turn out fine. I am back. It's the end of the day. I finished with my meeting. It went really well as per usual. I didn't stumble over my words like I sometimes tend to do. Honestly, I don't know why. Sometimes I still get really nervous in meetings, and this was one of the times when I actually felt like I knew what I was talking about, which is always a positive side when you can relay what you actually know to other people. Also, as you can see, I stacked up all of my Christmas books behind me on my shelf, and I have got quite the collection going on. So I'm really excited. I think I also might try to incorporate some choices for the kids, and this way they get to pick a book. I might leave like 2 or 3 out, and they can just pick whichever one that they would like to read, and then we can do a Christmas activity with it. This way they kind of feel like they get that element of decision making and a say in what we're doing. Sometimes I like to be able to incorporate that as much as I can, because who doesn't like to have a choice? I like choices. I like it when I get a say. So I might try to do some of that, especially with some of my older kids. The younger kids tend to not care as much, but I do like to put it out there just to kind of teach them, even if it's just from a choice of 2. Do you want to do this one or that one? It helps with making decisions and making choices, which for some of my students is a goal, but they're my older ones. Other than that, I am getting ready to pack up and head home probably pretty early. I'm going to stop in and see my coworkers because I haven't gotten to check in with them today. But I really, really want to get home and start working on interactive PDFs. I'm not sure if I had brought it up. I feel like I might have brought it up like the beginning of this year, which now seems like forever ago. But initially I was working on some interactive PDFs to do with the kids on the iPad. And this year, at first it wasn't really going to work because I only do have one iPad and I was having mostly groups. But now that the year is kind of filtered on and I've adjusted the schedule, my kids that really need individual sessions are more and more getting those individual sessions, which I'm super thankful for, because, I mean, ideally I know everybody would be an individual session and you would work one-on-one with every kid to make the best, you know, difference that you could. But there are some of my kids that aren't anywhere near other kids in their age range or even in their class, or they're just working on totally different things and the skill levels are just so differentiated that it makes it really hard to be able to cater to their needs. And it's tricky, And, you know, in times when I have kind of made the work cater to them, they still need significant help, and then the other students are over it and through with it and all finished, and then they're just kind of sitting there. So it's really hard to differentiate a lot of the activities, especially when so many of my kids need that one-on-one, hand-over-hand, tactile prompt with me sitting either next to them or them in front of me or in my lap, and just kind of just doing it with them and teaching them the motions. It's hard to do when you've got a group of other kids. So I'm really, really thankful that I've been able to kind of jerry-rig my schedule this year to accommodate it. It's not completely perfect, and it's constantly changing, but I am making it a priority to try to group kids together, and especially my Arctic groups. I go a little bit further on the age range span than I would with like language, just because articulation, I mean, I still wouldn't put a preschooler with like a 4th grader, but usually I'll do like pre-K, kindergarten first, and maybe a 2nd grader depending on like their ability, because I have some preschool students that are pretty intelligible, and I've got some 1st or 2nd graders that are less intelligible than preschool students. So I will kind of group it together. I'm a little bit more lenient in articulation groups just because it's kind of like a fun atmosphere, I feel like. And you can really target articulation doing legitimately anything. So a lot of times it'll be like a game activity where it's not like too babyish. But if we're doing language and we're doing like picture cards and sentences and sentence structure, I'm looking for dramatically less sentence structure in a preschooler than I would in like a 3rd or 4th grader. So I do tend to just like group preschool and kindergarten together. Even that's sometimes a stretch. Kindergarten and 1st I'll usually do. I like to do it with older kids, and then they can be models for the younger kids and kind of help them out, and that gives them a sense of pride and ownership and kind of responsibility, and a lot of kids really, really like that, especially me and you. I know as a kid, like, I loved being like the teacher's helper and having like a specific job and like, you know, thinking that the teacher could count on me to do things and that I was going to remember it and do it. So I know that's a really rewarding feeling for a lot of students, and I try to get my students who are kind of on the edge, and I explain to them, like, you really need to be a great role model, like our friend here, you know, you have to help them out, or, you know, show them the ropes, and that kind of really perks them up and gives them a reason to work hard and be motivated and set a good example. So I am excited about that, but the whole premise of that is that I am able to do interactive PDFs now more and more, since my groups are one-on-one. Some of them, especially the more severe kids, that could really benefit from the interactive PDFs. And it's a good way to take data. It's easy, it's quick, and it's being that it's not a media format on an iPad, the children mostly will probably love it. And that's really what I'm looking for, things that are going to keep the kids engaged, especially some of the more monotonous, like drill type things. If you put it on an iPad or a tablet or some type of computer, it, for whatever reason, it goes out the window that it's like legitimate work, and kids love doing that, and they don't mind the repetition as long as the pages are turning and they're getting different images. So I really am looking forward to doing that, because a lot of the times it ends up being just picture cards and drilling, like, what's the boy doing? What's going on here? Give me a sentence about this boy. And I think the PDF and the iPad format will really help facilitate it. I'd love to make my own app, but sadly, I do not possess the coding knowledge that I once did, and even at that point, with all of the coding knowledge that I had when I was younger, I don't think it was enough to formulate an app. And I know you can kind of work with companies and they'll make it for you if you give them the idea, but it doesn't really feel like it's my idea then. Or it's my idea, but I feel like I didn't do it. Like, I feel like if I tell somebody to do something and they make it, I'm like, you put in all of the legwork for it, I just had the idea. So I'm hit and miss with looking into actually making my own application or working with a company. But with that being said, I'm excited to get home and start it. I want to make colorful PDFs. I want to have good clip art and just like a really user-friendly layout. So I'm going to get to work on that, and I will check in with you guys tomorrow. Hey friends, this is some Class A lighting right here. It is the end of the day, obviously. I am about to head home. It's a little bit after 5. It was a crazy busy day, but a really good day and a very productive day. So I'm sorry that I didn't get to check in any earlier and that now we are in this lovely low light situation. But I'm going to go ahead and get some gas and then go home and keep working on my PDF because I really, really want to get it done. I was working on some clip art. I was going to do a winter themed one, I think, so that this way it's relatable for the next few months rather than doing a Christmas themed activity, just because I'm honestly not sure when I'm going to finish it or when it would be available. So going to try that and we'll see how that works. I am trying to make a clip art igloo. It's arguing with me and not working out as well as I had hoped. So I'm hoping to get that part done tonight and, I don't know, pretty much make some headway on it. I'm really excited to try to test it out and see if it works on different formats. I've got my iPad from school with me, which is just the age-old decrepit original iPad. So I figure if it works on that, we're fine. I'm really excited because some of my Christmas presents finally came in. I don't think this is all of them, but we're starting to get the Christmas shipments in, and I'm going to open this, see what all is inside for friends and family, and then put it in its designated secret wrapping room. Hey guys, good morning. Happy Wednesday. I am just finishing up prepping for my little ones this morning before I head over to the other school. This morning's kind of a bit of a jumble because we have some kids that finished their Santas, some kids that still need to finish their Santas, and some kids that haven't even started their Santas, all in the same group. So what I figured out is I've got the Santa for the student who hasn't started it. This one needs to be finished, and then for my friend that has already finished, we are going to do a Christmas book. I did look, these are from meetpenny.com. They're really adorable. I think it's initially a checklist for Christmas, and you're supposed to color them in as you get closer to Christmas. I just adapted it for the beard and putting cotton balls on it. I think it's super adorable. And then this one, I will leave the link below. I do not have who it's from off the top of my head. I've totally forgotten. But it is super cute clip art, and it's Santa, Santa, what do you see? And it's all just Christmas themed things. So I think this will be really good for my other kids. And then if by some miracle of life we finish all of this, then we can pick any one of the numerous Christmas storybooks that I have to read. I haven't heard anything on the color printer yet, so I'm not sure if that's a feasible possibility, but I'm going to keep my fingers crossed and be slightly optimistic because I don't know what else to do. I didn't make as much progress on my interactive PDF as I wanted. I'm really struggling with making igloo clip art. I wanted to make igloos for the different buttons on the home page just to give it a fun winter theme. We might end up going with snowflakes because my igloos aren't happening. Just gonna be real with y'all. They're not happening. So I might end up just moving it over to that. I'm going to use the time today though that I'm not seeing my friends that are at the play to organize my plans of care, make sure they're all updated. A lot of the times I'm waiting on signatures for IEPs that I'm not the case manager of, and I'm not super in touch with the case managers to find out when exactly they get signed consent. So I do have to go through and kind of see if they've been locked yet so that I can update the plans of care, or if I have to manually enter in the new goals and redo it that way, which is a little bit more work, but it's not the end of the world. But I do kind of need to take a chunk of time to focus on that because I feel like I've had a few IEPs that I either haven't been able to attend and I've just put my information in, or that I've gone to and the parents weren't there and we're just kind of waiting on the signatures, so I do have to update all of that stuff. So hopefully I can catch up on that today with the time that I have, and then hopefully everybody will love their Santas. A few of my friends did finish yesterday, and the ones that didn't want to take them home left them with me, so that was super sweet of them. And I'm going to hang them up on the chalkboard and display them until it is time for Christmas. I wasn't able to find any paper to mount them on, but so far it hasn't been a problem. We're just gonna roll with it. It's Christmas time. So I will check in with you guys later, let you know how the day is going. Hopefully my hair holds up. Hopefully the red lipstick stays on my face and doesn't end up like over up here someplace. We'll see. We're gonna try. We're doing the best we can. It's Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. It's the end of the day already. I finished up just a few seconds ago all of my plans of care that needed to be done, with the exception of one because I'm still waiting on consent. And I updated everything, listed all of my kids who are Medicaid for sure, and updated that list, and also updated the list in Easy Track so that it reflected all of my current caseload, because I had some old friends on there that had been dismissed that needed to be deleted. So I'm super excited about that. It feels like a huge weight off my shoulders. The lighting is not so good. But I am super pumped for that, like I said, because it was just kind of looming on my head and I wanted to get it done. So I'm glad I took the half hour, 45 minutes to crank it out at the end of today. All of my friends did really well today. We had a good day overall, so that's always a positive. And tomorrow is Thursday, so it's almost the weekend. And who doesn't appreciate that? I am working on some gingerbread stuff for next week to hopefully combat the fact that none of my materials were ready for this week, but we will see. I'm probably going to take some time tomorrow morning to run off all of the gingerbread men. It's just tricky when I'm using construction paper because I have to use the alternative feed slot, which is fine, but I don't like to stop what the teachers are doing because they need stuff for that morning usually. So I try to wait until everybody else is done copying and then I can use the feed slot, and it's not a huge deal. But that's pretty much all I have planned. Tonight I'm actually going to go hang out with some friends, so some much needed catch-up time with them. Excited for that. And we might grab dinner or just relax at my house, I think. So I do have to get home and pick it up slightly because there's stuff everywhere. But that's pretty much it. Low-key night. Nothing too major. Not that I ever do anything wild and crazy during the week, but you never know. One time I might. So I'll check in with you guys tomorrow. Hey guys, what's up? I am just about to head out to the library right now. It's the end of the day already. Not sure if you could tell. It's getting dark. Awesome day overall. Everything went well. Just kind of finished up what we did for the week. But the library texted me and they have the last 2 books in that I had on hold, which I thought were the ones that I picked up earlier. But they weren't, but now they are in, and I will finally have finished my Christmas book collection. These aren't even all of them that are behind me, so I'm excited about that. I am also excited to boogie on out of here because I figured out how to join, for a better word, line segments in Illustrator and still be able to fill them. And that probably doesn't seem like a lot, and to people that aren't into Illustrator and drawing graphics, probably don't care. People that can do it are probably like, duh, but I was on the struggle bus with making my igloo and filling it in, and I figured out how to do it. Live paint, you are a godsend. So I'm really excited about that, which means I can absolutely move forward on my interactive PDFs. I'm also toying with maybe transitions, but I don't think they'll work because I'm pretty sure that once you convert it to a PDF, the transition and the animations stop, which is kind of a bummer. But hey, let's not try to reinvent the wheel. So I'm excited to get home and to crank that out. I worked on it a little bit at the end of the school day while the kids were packing up. That's actually when I kind of figured it out and put it all together. So right now I'm just really working on laying everything out and kind of spacing out what I want to do and the different questions I'm going to have and how I'm going to make it work as cohesively as possible. So that is in the works. I'm so excited for it because my kids love tablets, computers, iPads, Google Chromebooks, but they love them. Most of them do. So I feel like this is going to be a super motivating activity, and also it is relatively easy for me to get data on because the answers will be there. It's multiple choice. They have an option and I can work with them and then just tally it as they do or do not get it. So I am hoping that it works out super well, but we will see. I'm hoping to have it I'm doing a winter theme, so I'm probably going to roll it out after the Christmas break, just because these next 2 weeks. Next week I'm doing the Gingerbread Man unit, and then the week after that I really want to do the book The Mitten, and that takes us to Christmas break. So I'm going to roll it out afterwards. I think it'll be a nice way to ease back in to being back at school as well, with, you know, having off for a week and a half, almost 2 weeks. It will really help with just getting everybody focused again. So I'm super pumped on that. Like I said, I have to get to the library. I have to pack up my room. I have to clean up a little bit because it is a little messy. But yeah, that's pretty much all that's been going on today. Just a lot of plugging away at things. So I'm happy to report that that is figured out, though. Tomorrow, fingers crossed, that the printer is working so that I can print out the Gingerbread Men activities and the fun things that I had planned, because I haven't gotten to do it yet. Although a plus side is that I'm getting tons of amazing feedback from my Christmas clues and my naughty or nice activities, and I'm so thankful. And y'all, I can't even put it into words. Like, every time it says you have feedback, I get like really nervous for some reason because I'm afraid somebody's gonna hate it. But everybody's been super sweet about it. They said that the kids love them. It's a great activity. It's a fun way to target those pragmatic goals, and I'm so happy that people get to use them. Also, I haven't gotten to use it yet, so I would really like to get to have a chance to use it just to see how it actually works out in therapy. I've done like little bits and tried to like hint at it with some of my kids, just because I don't have the actual activity because the color printer hates me. But I am so grateful and so happy that it's working out perfectly for everybody that's purchased it. Thank you so much for all of your support. I don't even have words. Like, it makes me so excited. Also, I think I have up to 300 followers so far on Instagram, which completely blows my mind because I've never had that many followers on anything. So that makes me super grateful. I'm super appreciative that everybody cares enough to stick with me, first of all, because I don't think I'm all that interesting. But apparently 300 other people are semi-interested in what I'm doing. And, you know, I love to be able to share my ideas, because that's really what I love about my job, is that I get to create things and I get to, you know, work with other people and look at things in a different way. And it's just great that other people are interested in it as well, and that we have such a nice community and a supportive community between like the teachers, the OTs, the PTs, everybody. And I'm just super grateful for it. And I've learned so much following people on Instagram. People are doing awesome things, and I get new ideas every day just by like scrolling through the Explore feed, scrolling through my feed of everybody that I follow. So I'm so happy that I'm able to give that back to other people too, because sometimes, I don't know, I get stuck in my ways, and, you know, looking at things from a different perspective or seeing how somebody else did an activity that was a little bit different from the way that I was doing it is always really cool to see, and gives me like a ton more ideas for, you know, how to approach it the next year or the next time I use it. So it's all about tweaking it and making it work for you. And it's cool that these activities have so many different ways that you can tweak them. So with that being said, I am going to get out of here and go pick up my last 2 books. I'm actually kind of excited because I feel like I have way too many Christmas books, but we've been using them all. Today we read How Santa Got His Job and Is It Christmas Yet? Is It Christmas Yet is good for younger kids. How Santa Got His Job, I would say probably like first and up. But it's a really interesting book because nobody ever can believe that Santa did anything before he was Santa. And it's cool because he goes through all of these jobs which he pulls bits and pieces from that eventually all roll into the profession of being Santa Claus. So it's a great way to go back for sequencing. It's also a great way to be like, you know, how did, I don't know, one of his jobs was being a postal worker. So how did working at, you know, for the post office help him? You know, and the kids can kind of deduce that it was helped him deliver presents. And, you know, how did being a chimney sweep help him? So it's a really great way, and the kids really like to see all of the connections. And even some of my grumpy non-believers got into that story. So if you have anybody that's too cool for school and doesn't want to believe anymore, one of your 5th graders, you can kind of bring that into it, and it's a really cool way to show them that Santa's a person too. And sometimes he had jobs that he wasn't good at. So, with that being said, I'm going to get out of here. I'll check in with you guys later. I hope you all had a really great Thursday. Tomorrow's Friday. It's almost the weekend. We can do it. It's going to be good. So I'm excited. I'll see you guys tomorrow. These are the last two books that I just picked up. The Snowy Day by Ezra Jack Keats. This one's a classic. I think I read this when I was in 1st or 2nd grade. Also, I have What Am I, which is a Christmas flap book. And it's super adorable, and I'm really excited to get to use it with my kiddos. They give you clues, and then it's just a flap, and they kind of give you a little hint as to what it is. And it's adorable. So hopefully my little kids will love this, and it'll go over really big. But we are going to see. I'm going to head home now. These will probably just be supplementals to the storybooks that I have, but I'm going to head home now and see if there's anything that I can kind of tie into these books for next week. I am trying really hard to prep for next week. I just spent far longer than I should have fighting with the copier. I was trying to enlarge these even more and get them on a full sheet like this, but I could not do it. This is the only one that printed out without jamming the copier. You can see my hands still have copier ink all over them. So I gave up and just enlarged it to 110% and did it on the half sheets. And now I have to cut them all out. The only issue is that all of the half sheets are different sizes, so I can't stack them and cut them, so I'm going to have to cut them each out individually, which is okay. I'm trying to be optimistic, and the color printer is still broken, so I don't even know what I'm going to do with that. Not quite sure, but we are going to cut these out for now and see where we're at after that. You guys, today is a labor of love. I am trying to work on the interactive PDF, and this is what I have so far. It has taken me quite a while. I found out that the first time I was making this, I was doing all of the links in this program. They're not saving when you export it, so I am going to have to export it and manually relink everything, which is super frustrating, but we are starting to make some progress. So hopefully this will have a happy ending at the end of today. Hey guys, it's the end of the day already, and I'm happy to report that I did get a lot done on my interactive PDF, so I'm really excited about that because it was starting to feel like nothing was ever going to become accomplished with it. But I did all of that. I got all of my lesson planning mapped out. Unfortunately, the printer is still broken, and it is officially the bane of my existence, but I'm going to run out today and get all my errands done, so I'm just going to have to buckle down and buy a new coloring cartridge for my home printer and kind of just make do, because I do not have money yet set aside for a whole new printer setup and everything, so another color cartridge will have to do for now. But other than that, everything's planned and set. I did make my gingerbread men outlines. I'm going to cut them out when I go home. I started here today, and then I realized that that was totally something that could be done on the weekend. So I left it for that. The other really exciting thing is that tomorrow, apparently, we're going to have our first snow. So that's nice. I moved south to get away from the snow, but I can appreciate 1 to 3 inches. I am going to do all of my errands tonight, though, just so I don't have to go out tomorrow in it. So tonight will be a busier night than I had initially anticipated, but that's okay, because then tomorrow I can just hang out at home and cook and do everything that I need to do there and not have to worry about driving out in snow, even though, being from New York, 1 to 3 inches is nothing. But not everybody down here can drive in that, so best to stay off the roads if you can. Other than that, today was a really good day. We had the tree lighting ceremony. It was super cute, and it's always really cute to see. I was helping my coworkers make ornaments for their class to hang on to the tree, so that's always nice. And we're getting into the festive spirit. We're losing light here already. It looks like it's going to snow. It's very gray outside. But that's pretty much all I have to update on for today, I think. I am excited, really excited. Next week I'm going to try something new, and I'm fingers crossed that it works, I'm hoping, because it's a really cute idea. I'm going to make a larger size of my feeding mouths people. I'm going to make a big Santa, and instead of cutting him out and putting him on a tissue box, I'm just going to cut him out, and I'm going to tape him to the desk, but where his mouth is kind of above the lip, and they're going to kind of like slap hockey the cookies into his mouth. And I feel like that'll add like an element of competition for my older kids. My younger kids will probably still just do it with the tissue box because they love that. But for my older kids, it's going to be like Slapshot Santa. So I'm hoping that it works. Fingers crossed. I have all of my cookies from my If You Give a Mouse a Cookie unit, and I think it'll be a really fun activity if it works out. So I'm really excited to see how that rolls out. We're doing both gingerbread books next week, making gingerbread people, doing cookies, the works. We're getting our bake on next week. So I'm super, super thrilled to be doing food-themed things again. I can't get away from it. But that's all I have for you today so far. And I will check in with you guys whenever to update you on the happenings of my Color Ink excursion. That's what we're going to call this. The Color Ink excursion of 2017. Because out of 2 printers and a couple of copiers, I can't make it work. So, we're going to see. Oh, hey, Snow. Hey friends, happy Saturday. I hope you guys are enjoying the start to your weekend. If it's a weekend for you and you don't work on the weekends, if you do work on the weekends, I'm really sorry about that, and I hope you have a good day at work. Also, I hope that you're not anywhere where it is snowing, because it's snowing by me right now. And it looks really pretty, but like, I also don't like the snow that much. But I don't have to go anywhere today because I did all of my shopping last night, so a slight bonus. We are just going to hunker down today and crank out some work, since I'm not entirely sure that the state of Virginia knows how to drive in the snow. It's not as bad as other states, but coming from New York, the snow itself isn't scary, but the drivers on the roadway are. So that is what I've learned since moving down here. But we're supposed to get, I think, 1 to 3 inches, which is nice, but like, I could have done with it on a Sunday or like a weekday, so we could have had a snow day, but that's not what happened, so we're gonna move on. I got up super early, I cleaned the house already, got dressed, semi-presentable for the world, even though nobody's gonna see me except for you guys, so I did something right. And I'm gonna make myself some breakfast right now, and then I'm going to, I think, work on school stuff, I think. I'll check in with you guys later. I am going to be making chili today, and hopefully it turns out, actually, I've made it before and it's really good and it keeps really well for a long time. We're gonna do chili tonight, and that usually has a lot of leftovers, and chili is one of my favorite things. So I'm excited to get that going. That's not for another few hours though, because it only takes about, I think, 3 to 4 hours to cook in the crock pot. So it's probably like a 1 or 2 o'clock thing. But that's what I've got so far today. So I have started my chili, and fun fact, I had to make my own taco seasoning mix because the 2 that I had in my pantry expired in October. So that was a bummer. But hopefully it turns out good. It is still snowing pretty steadily. Not a whole lot has accumulated, but it's still coming down. And yeah, we've just been kind of hanging out. I started rewatching Dark, and I looked it up just to kind of get like a better gist of what was going on. And a suggestion was to watch it rather than with the audio dub. You can actually change it. Didn't know that. You put English subtitles and then have them just speak in German, because you get a whole lot more of the intonation in their voices. And when they're speaking in English and it's an English voiceover, they had to like cut out enough stuff to make it flow, so you were missing pieces. So I have restarted it in German with English subtitles, and we'll see if that helps me get the gist of the show even better. And I'm hoping that it gets picked up for season 2, because now I'm pretty invested in it. So anyway, that is my update. I did some work on the PDFs. I made an ear warmer. I'm about to go make a scarf for a friend, and then get to cutting out some of the gingerbread men activities for Monday. Hey guys, I totally forgot to close out the vlog last night after dinner. I went down the wormhole of YouTube. Does anybody ever do that? Do you get caught in like the dark places of the internet sometimes? That was me last night. So totally spaced on closing out the vlog, so I'm going to do it now, hence why the beginning of next week's vlog, and now I look exactly the same day. So thank you guys, as always, so much for sticking with me, and I will see you in my next vlog in a few minutes, but next week for you. Bye guys.